This week, avoiding carnage plays a big part in Race B. How well can I fare? Don't go away. Hello, welcome back. Yes, this race is a war of attrition, but I think it's a fun layout, so I still say give it a chance. If you missed my track guide for this race, click the link above or in the description. As I said in that video, putting in clean laps will help you take advantage of other drivers' mistakes. I did 3 races in a row that demonstrate this principle very well. In race 1, I'm in P10 to start. Everyone gets through turn 1 nicely, except for Grumpy Tony has a little issue on the exit. We'll see him again later. First time through the narrow section, a whole bunch of chaos here. I checked the replay, someone ran wide into the barrier, and other drivers around couldn't help but getting caught up in the mess. Then, Stu21 runs wide ahead, and half a lap in, I'm already up to P6. However, I would drop 1 place each of the next 2 laps in turn 1. I did not defend aggressively, mostly to avoid getting punted into the realms. From here, I would settle into a groove with a couple seconds clear track in front and behind. Lap 5 would see Grumpy Tony again have an off and rage quit for good measure, putting me in P7. This is how I would finish the race, less than a tenth ahead of Stu21. Let's get to race 2, where I start in P11 this time. Many of the same players in this race. This time I take a tighter line through turn 1, trying to leave room for others. I get a slight tap from Texas Pete since I had to slow more than usual. He goes through, but MR2 loses the rear end and there's no position lost. Sublime then has a look to my inside but backs off. Nicely done, Sublime. Side by side through there does not work. Both of us would likely get taken out there if he had tried it. Back around to turn 1, I angled my car to the inside of Pete, merely to avoid bumping him, but he stays to the outside, allowing me to take the place. I wasn't intending a move there, but it's nice when the opportunity to overtake presents itself and you're successful. Ahead a lap, more position gained as a result of mistakes by others. Schubert Gunner in the Porsche runs wide. Apologies if I butchered your name. In my lap guide, I cautioned against dive bombing in turn 1. Kudos, also in a Porsche, tries a massive dive and unfortunately takes out Linux 2022. That was really unfortunate. I don't know what happened there with Kudos. Was that a lunge or did he just miss his braking point? If the latter, well, I got a little lucky then. Lap 6 sees me up to P7. Stu21 loses the rear end in the final turn. Porsche drivers are having a rough go of it in this race. In fact, a lap later, I passed Grumpy Tony again, another 911 driver. He would rage quit this race too, on lap 7. I don't get why you wouldn't just finish the race at that point. On the final lap, Stu21 is quickly gaining on me, and once again I finish less than a tenth ahead of him. In my 3rd race of the day, I had my lowest starting position, P14. Some familiar names once again. There was a slow start, I'm not sure what happened to Black Flag there. Other than that, no lap 1 chaos for the first time today. However, an incident early in lap 2 and another driver going wide later on resulted in gaining 3 positions that lap. The next couple laps were uneventful until lap 5, where it's our old buddy, Stu21. Once again, more Porsche issues. This track does not like rear-engine cars for some reason. More people have been using the 911 since update 120, I think it was. It's a good car, and sure, mid-engine cars are a lot easier to drive in the game now, but that rear engine in the 911 can be a bit tricky. I haven't driven it much myself for that reason. Besides, I really enjoy the Supra. And right on cue, we see another Porsche going wrong, allowing me to take over P8. I would take P7 when Schubert Gunner has a moment, and I hope for dear life he doesn't respawn as I pass. That was lucky. Final lap sees a lot of action ahead. P4 and P5 are in a battle which sees Tony Montana into the barrier and sees me on his bumper. I lift slightly to avoid getting into a battle which allows Stu21 through. This was a good decision as Tony, clearly trying to run Stu off the track, takes himself out of the race, nearly taking out Gen X2. That was poor sportsmanship and you got what you deserved, buddy. Stu21 got a penalty when he passed me earlier. I keep to the right anyway. As we approach the finish line, he moves over and he brake checks me. He had a penalty, so I was likely going to finish above him anyway. I don't know, maybe he was hoping I would drop another place if he could slow me down enough. P7 did end up being just 36 1,000ths behind me, or maybe he just thought he was being funny. Initially, I thought maybe it was just the game breaking the car at the finish line. Here is the replay in chase cam, just as he's making the final move to get right in front of me. And there we are. Brake lights are on before the finish line. He definitely brake checked me. He didn't say anything in the chat after the race either, and neither did I. I got a clean race, so why bother? I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and hit that subscribe button. I will see you soon with another. Thanks for watching.